So I'm setting up around. So one thing we could have done better is, um, if we wanted to, we could have waited for me to get set up while I was traveling around. Um, Not that big a deal because you do have Monkey Diva, and if all you want is to go to gas, then like that's fine. You don't need Tracer. Tracer's there if you want the kill. So
Okay,
which is what
sorry,
you can
because
do.
this is really who's like ripping paper.
Huh? Oh, is that? Sorry, I'll mute my mic.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Zine.
No, you're good. So yeah, in that case, we don't like need Tracer if we're just wanting to take space. So we go in, we get anti, but we're fine. The team goes there. So remember where your Ana's gonna set up, right? Look at where she's at. Um, but instead you stay on the edge of gas station where their team is. Versus, remember, we're trying to take this space. Why not move this direction versus being able to be an LOS of their team? They only had 2 squishies up there, I think, and we knocked them off pretty easily. Like we had a full dive team. Now that probably could have been helped maybe by them all announcing that they were there. But I mean, if you're listening to audio cues, you probably could have known that they were there. So like you guys outnumber them 4-2 on gas. So you're safe just going on gas and putting all your bodies on there. Everyone's with you. And then you could have just sat back a bit and let your Ana heal you. She's perfectly safe, and we're all safe on gas here. So we take control of gas. Cool. Get the assassinate. So now the dot, like we heard it a lot, right? Whenever we didn't have a full 6 stack, we got to pick go in. That's not true. Um, we got to pick, like if anything, we got to pick just means, okay, we can finish the fight now, but how you go about it is determined by how we want to play and what our comp can do. We're dive, we just lost our monkey. There's nothing fast that needs to happen really, and they're brawl, right? So we have to, like if we actually want to end this fight now, we have to somehow disperse a Ryan, Zarya, Symmetra on a Moira. That's not gonna happen without a Winston whatsoever. They have to be severely out of place for that to happen, which Zarya is really out of place, so it might could happen, but still it's gonna be really hard. But like we can just play for card push here. We can just play to go slow here. Dig would be the one to go back to get card. So that's one thing we did wrong. We didn't push card at all. We want to push card to the corner. So now
that freaked me out quite a bit.
yeah,
And I realized
really
it was
bad
about
misplay
now
there.
that I realized that like, oh, we never told Dig to take card.
Yeah.
And so now I run back, and then Laverne says, "I've got card."
So that's a huge misplay. But here, you know, we're in the situation. It's cool. Like so you can see like that first fight actually that first kill really meant nothing. Really. It pushed them back, but you see because we didn't push card that it kind of didn't mean anything. The fight's going to take place exactly where it would have taken place if we had pushed card and then started everything. So I mean we got some more charge out of it, but so did they. Alright, so here we're keeping a bit. We should be, well, what should we be doing?
Staging.
Yeah.
Calling out the Rhine because the Rhine's the only one up front.
Yeah. Calling out the Rhine and in general, just staging, just resetting. Right. We lost our Winston. They have regained a foothold on where they want to be, so we just kind of reset. Like if they're a brawl comp, any space that they want, they get to take. We don't get to deny them space, not by brawling at least. So if they like Soldier and Sim are back in here on top gas, we have no one on this team that can stop them from taking top gas, like without the help of other people. We are, you know, it's a completely team-based style. So if they want to walk up to that gas, we just have to give it to them. So there's nothing wrong with that. So we just need to play here like we lost our monkey, play slow, they're a brawl. We can't do anything against our comp, so just chill. But yeah, this Ryan wasn't called. He should have died a lot quicker than that. So yeah, this is a really big misplay on our part for not telling Dig that he should be on cart, or Monkey should not be on cart. Monkey would be much better served than Diva will be on top of gas right now. Yeah, he's just feeding to that Zarya right now.
You better get out of the way. Boosters engaged.
So you can see like we're off on what we want to do, just with the timings of, like we're not together, and a lot of it is Dig just doesn't know how to play Diva. Um, but he also, he's never played dive in a team environment. So like our monkey went to stage, exactly, fine. I went to help him on gas, we're there, but Dig goes into the team looking to kill, and he's currently offbeat. Lucio's not here, our Genji's resetting, so like even then, so assuming Dig, because a lot of this is going to just be assuming if Dig's in the right spot, because he's probably going to be out of position a ton. But assuming he was in the right spot, we still have our Genji who's main, so like it's fine to go and take the staging, uh, but just know that it's just the people that are ready, right? So one thing that we really need to start doing is figuring out a system of figuring out who is all ready. So like if an opportunity presents themselves, we can all be sure that, well, we have these X amount of people who can commit. So if we see someone out of position, like it doesn't matter if our Tracer and our Genji just aren't ready. Like it kind of doesn't matter, right? Because we more than likely can't finish the target if like just our monkey is ready, right? So, but if someone's out of position, then our tanks can be confident that they're gonna have help doing this hard dive that they're probably wanting to commit to. So we need to figure something out vernacular wise, um, on how to engage in dives. And I think like me, I'm a fan of ready checks, and I have to be quick. Are you ready? What I like to say is, can we go? Can we go on X at this location? And then I get response. I should get immediate responses from everyone saying yes and no. So that's me personally. That's what I like to do, and I think we should try that.
That sounds like a good idea.
So I think that would have helped us here. So we're down our diva, cool. Still, like, just chill. Like, we don't, like, even though diva died, it doesn't mean the end of the world. Just take staging again. Like, remember the win condition. The win condition is, like, well, it's determined by our two comps, and their comp is a ground comp completely. No high ground contestation, so every time, just be looking to get to high ground. We don't, like, Cart is in a good spot now. Like, we don't have to worry about it anymore, so we don't care about it. They have to care about it. If they don't want our diva when she's in the right spot to just push it, they have to be on it. So, or they have to contest it somehow. So we're fine. Just take gas now. They're where we want them. So we just chill. So we should be taking gas here. Monkey's there. Like, so this is like taking gas doesn't mean everyone be on it, right? Just take control of it. So by whomever. So like Genji's fine. He's off angling technically because like with dive, like what do we always said we want to suffocate. That's what we're doing. So it's fine that he may be main, but he's still off angling from the team. So like it's still a good look. You can see like in theory, like you can see we have them surrounded. Assuming everyone was ready, we have them surrounded. If Diva's alive, we would have them at every angle, a majority of angles, and that's all we want. And now we're just looking to, soft dive, like, and force mistakes. We soft dive Mora, like maybe I soft dive with a Winston, force Mora fade. Oh, now we can go. Or maybe we want to commit on the Zana. Like if our monkey is 9 to primal, we can straight up just commit on the Zana because our monkey's not gonna die. So like we can commit on this Ana. They try and kill Laverne. He primals, and now the fights opened up, right? So that's how this would go. Or maybe we don't want to use primal. Maybe we want to, hey, we're poking for blade. Cool. We just keep soft diving, getting old charge, and wait for blade, and then we go on blade, right? Or we wait for Rab to hit an anti. Like all of those are win conditions. So we're just waiting on all those win conditions to pop off. We're not trying to hero play kills, right? We have win conditions. We have so many ways to win this, and there's nothing they can do about any of them. So we just need to play slow and play patient. Like that's all we're looking for.
I've got you in my sights.
That's out of the Zarya, but we're still fine. All we want is gas station. So I would imagine like They're not on gas station, so we're fine, but we need to be utilizing it some way. But right now we're still fine. Diva's up there, cool. Monkey's up there, we're fine. Like they cold, it's a waste of cold. They can't do anything about it. Like their comp is terrible against ours. Like we can just LOS everything that they do. Their grab doesn't work against us. Their shadows don't work. Their colds don't work. They can't nano anyone of significance that we care about. Nothing works in their comp against us. So we have gas. So the soldier's in the back. So like, okay. So it's understandable that we don't know soldiers here. So monkey jumps out because he needs heals. Cool. So this is again an error on Dick's part going after the soldier. He's of no threat to anyone. Again, it's dive. Like realize what you can do as dive. You can literally just yeet yourself out the fight. Like if soldier just sneaks up on behind us, we can just leave. Like we don't care about the soldier. We shouldn't care about the soldier whatsoever. He is of no threat. Just leave. All right, our monkey's out. So like if something happens like this on gas, where I just died, so I'm in spawn. Phantom's main, like he not that Phantom's in a bad position. He's just not in a position to help on bridge, right? So this is where a ready check could have come in. Soldiers behind us, can we go? And then what would he if we had done that ready check? What would Dig have heard if he asked for a ready check from everybody
No.
except for Anna? Anna doesn't need to answer the ready check, except maybe that she doesn't have eyes on that spot. But what would he have heard from Laverne right now?
No.
What we have heard from me?
No.
What
No.
we have heard from Phantom?
No.
What we have heard from Lux?
No.
Lux could have said yes.
Well, yeah.
Lux could have said
I
yes.
don't see Lux, so I'm a
Lux
little.
is at the sign.
Oh,
He's
true.
on-
So
yeah.
Lux maybe, but Lux is also half health. So
Yeah,
maybe he doesn't want to. So maybe he says no.
maybe. I mean, like it's his choice. You know, maybe he doesn't quite like he doesn't see the soldier, right? He's focused on something else. All he's doing is hearing soldiers behind can like who can go, right? So yeah, that's Lux's decision. I don't know what Lux would say in that situation. Like Soldier's not that much of a threat against Lucio Diva because Diva's going to eat his shots and body block as well, and Lucio's going to be in there getting damage. And like, so I mean, it's possible. Like they can do it if they're really mechanically good, they could devour the show Soldier. But maybe they just don't feel like it. And it's not like we need to kill him. It's just an opportunity to kill, and that's all dive is. These are just pure opportunities. This Soldier's open. Can we go? And at this point, everyone says no, and Lux is a maybe. Dig ideally would just leave. Like, okay, we can't do it because if he sits up there, then he just gets demeched, right? So his only other option is to yield the space to Soldier, and then we just regroup. Like we just go back main, reassess ourselves, and we just start over. Okay, we got to take high ground again. Let's go back and take high ground. If the soldier still wants to be up there, then he just dies. Because guess what? Everyone's saying yes at this point because we're all on gas. Because that's our so if that's our staging. So if he decides to stay in our staging area, well, he just ends up getting stomped on. So that's how that would have gone in a perfect world. But he goes and duels soldier by himself, which is a very hard fight for a diva if he has heal station. So I go to try and help. So we end up doing it. Dig stays too long. He needs to leave. Right. Again, if Ryan wants that space against our comp, if Ryan Anna want that space, they get to take it. So he should have just left after the soldier was dead. So
So if we notice something like this happening, what's something that we can say? Like, what's something that we can mention in comms to remind the group that we're with, or like our team, to kind of get back into that mindset.
So at first it's going to be a lot of having to do this, right? It's going to be a lot of failing at first, for sure. So, but the main issue, the main fault of all this is playing too fast and not remembering that this is a 6-man comp. Like this is the goats of this like goats was full 6 man, all cooldowns, yada yada, and this is the same essentially. Like you need all 6 people. There are comps where you don't quite need everyone. But this is something that needs to be is very communicative. So whenever things break down like this, what helps me is to remember all the key points. So remembering the key points of what we're trying to do. Um, Take staging, look for opportunities, and ready checks. And I think if you can continue to repeat that to yourselves as you go through, it'll stop this from happening, or at least mitigate it. It's going to happen because it's new, but just sitting back and repeating the key points of how we're trying to perform this will help tremendously, I believe. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
So we're down our diva. So like, we're down diva. It's still not the end of the world. Um, we like again, as long as our staging is not threatened, we can live there because in combination of they're a ground comp, so they can't come take staging at all. Like if they wanted to come take staging, would have to march their butts up there to do it. So which is fine. We just move card then, and then force them back down. Then we hop on staging and do just rinse and repeat. That's how a ground-based comp. That's how you manipulate a ground-based comp to doing what you want against dive.
Are you ready?
So now let's see what happens here. So we have to give up staging. So like all of these are points that we need to look at. Like why did we have to give up staging? Yeah. So like why did we have to give up staging here? Not like it's a bad thing, but why did we have to?
Well, the Rhine was coming to take it.
Right. Right. If he wants it, right, we can't hold it, so we just leave. And not only that, what if it was the Reinhardt by himself? Could we have kept it?
Probably not because we don't have our diva.
But we have Tracer and Genji on the field, as well as Ana still alive.
So if he's alone, he just becomes a dive target.
Yes. Given the situation, given everything that we see, could we have kept staging here? Like we give it up at this moment.
No,
Okay. What's up?
only because he's nanoed, and plus there's an Ana on top of gas station.
Well,
Just
assuming
sitting.
Reinhardt's alone.
Oh, then yeah. Yeah, I would probably end up saying yeah, because like Rev said before, he's alone. He's essentially a dive target.
Okay. What do you need for to initiate a dive to a target?
Ready check.
Uh-huh.
And so the question would be, are we ready?
Uh-huh.
Ana has lost the battle with gravity. Um, our monkey is out of shield. Is out of shields.
It's a
or out of
Reinhardt.
armor.
That's true. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Go ahead. Okay.
And can I see faceplates? And our tracer is on low ground, so our tracer might be able to help. Tracer would come on behind, so it would be if it was just Rhine and the ready check was from Tracer Genji was in the affirmative, then yeah, the Rhine dies there. But we're down have Lux, and we don't have Ana in on that fight. So it has to be quick. So maybe not actually, because there's no way to sustain through it, and two squishies on a Rhine don't bode very well.
Okay. We can look at that next, Kodo. That's a situation that happens after the Reinhardt leaves, so we can look at that next. Good eye though. Um, so okay, so you broke it down properly. Um, your what you said was correct. If the call if so like who are you diving, and then do we have the resources available to take this target out, or I don't want to say because the object isn't always to kill. To do what we want to do is how I wanted to keep phrasing that. To get out, to get the condition that we want to meet with this action out. And in this case, it would be to kill the Rhine, or at least get him off of high ground. So what would we need? More than likely, you would need Monkey, Tracer, and Genji. And really, Tracer and Genji can kill the Rhine. That's a solo Rhine. It's easy. They just stay on either side of him, and he can't choose who to kill. And both of them have much farther range than Ryan can do it, so like you only need Tracer and Genji to kill a Ryan. And you actually just need a Tracer. If it's solo or Tracer, well, I'll do a solo Ryan all day. But do we have the resources needed? If it was just Ryan on here, we have Monkey. Like we would ask, so like one who would call this, who would call this? That would be answered by who knew that the Rhine was up there. And we're not assuming Ana. So I knew, which is why I'm running. And Genji knew. Laverne was on the other side of the sign, so he couldn't really see. He wouldn't be able to see it without us saying. So either me or Genji would call for it. So if we had called for it, so the ready check you would want to hear from Monkey. Could he have gone? Answer is yes, he was up there. So Monkey could have said yes. Tracer would say no because I just dropped unless I have recall. So that's the Tracer thing. Like, do I want to burn recall to get up there? So that's the Tracer thing. So Tracer could have said yes or no, and then Genji can just dash over and help with the Ryan. So there is a if Ryan was by himself, this is totally hypothetical because there is an Ana. If Ryan was by himself, that dive call could have been yes. And if nothing else, we could have at least forced him off of gas, if not killed him. So yeah, but in that situation, she is pocketed by an Ana. He is pocketed by Ana, and not only that, he's nanoed. It's not worth it. We are like, again, but just our positioning in that case forces a nano out, right? Like, if they want this gas so bad that they have to burn an ultimate, we're okay with waiting 8 seconds. We're perfectly fine with that, and then we just retake. Like, they burn it, they press Q, and all we have to do is press W and shift, and we leave. So we're okay with that trade. So now afterwards, it's just Ana. The real situation, it is just Ana. So given this frame right here, can we commit a dive onto this Ana?
Currently, no, but in a few seconds we can.
Yeah, good eye, right? So we can still call it. Like, this isn't, we don't have to wait till we have cooldowns to call and inquire. Ana's alone on gas, can we go? Right? And then you just give the information that you need. So he's saying yes and no, but it's obviously deeper than that, right? When I know I'm in position to commit a dive, but I don't have what I need to make it there, I'll just give a time, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, something like that, right? Is what I'll say. So Laverne would then, so if Genji saw this, can we go on Ana on gas? We would go down the list again. Laverne would say 3 seconds, well 4 seconds because he just jumps. I would say no, I can't make it because I can't get there, and my recall will be gone by then because it's 3 seconds in the past. So my recall will be gone by there. I will not be able to go. But Genji can go, Monkey can then go. That's enough to kill an Ana, right? So you two would commit that dive. in 3 seconds. And you can even say 5 seconds if you want to wait for your Ana to heal you up just to be sure. Like nothing wrong with that. If you know where your Ana is, right? So like nothing wrong with that. So that's what we're going to be looking for in the future so far.
Give Ana wall climb.
What's up?
Give Ana wall climb.
One day Ana will get mobility.
Give her the option to throw sleep at the ground, and it's monkey jump.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Her sleep dart should be a hook shot as well, I think.
I agree. Yeah. Let's just make her even like the most broken character in the game.
Might as well, right? She's already pretty broken. Let's just go ahead and just tip her over the edge.
Yeah.
Alright. So, we're fully reset, pretty much. Diva's on her way back. What should be our target? Like not target, but condition. Goal. Words. There we go. Goal.
We're looking for opportunistic targets.
Even before that.
Nades.
Well, like what?
Setting up.
Yeah. Like we
Posturing.
completely reset. We've lost our map control. Right? You need to realize when you've lost your map control, and generally when you have to jump out is when you've lost your map control. So you should always be reassessing, like looking for targets. That's 100% all the time. You're always looking for targets. Sometimes out of spawn you see an open target and you can go on them. But besides that, you're thinking, okay, we got to get map control. So where do we need to attack? Where do we need to go get this map control that we want? All right. So we're looking for that, and where would we look for map control here?
Top gas.
Yeah, every time. So that's where we're looking to re-go on top gas. So as Tracer, I should be looking to get back there on my own, like just in some way. Like your Tracer's a freelancer, so she's going to be roaming, and she's either there or she isn't at times. So, but she should be looking for those opportunities on her own. Genji, in the same vein to a degree, he's not as mobile as Tracer, but he's mobile. But he can't just live in the back line like Tracer can. But at least Monkey Diva should be looking to stage somewhere. So they're the ones who definitely will be living near the staging area, or at least taking control of staging area. So like even like this looks fine. Like our positioning is just it's perfectly fine right now. Like it may feel bad, but this isn't bad at all. So like just because you got backed up doesn't mean panic. It just means start over. Just reset. And like realize like we just got Nano out for free. He got no value out of that Nano whatsoever. So like even though we backed up, think of the value you guys just got. You spent cooldowns to get an ultimate out. Like you're totally okay with that every time. There is nothing wrong with that. And look how long, like you remember how long ago Mora used that coalescence? And she's only at 35. That's what dive does. It doesn't give Moira anything to heal because it's either burst damage or she's dead. So like, there's a lot of value being gained. So are there any opportunistic targets at the moment? Like, and we haven't even staged yet, so this is a nice segue. We haven't staged, but we're always looking for opportunities. Are there any targets on the screen right now that are really good opportunities for us?
Soldier, Sim, Ana,
Yeah, those are the
Zarya
three.
maybe, but Zarya's
Yeah.
gonna head back to Orion here before we're gonna be ready.
Yeah, and she has bubble. I would imagine we just left, so she has bubble. Yep. Sim. So Soldier, Sim, Ana. Which one of those three? Well, are all of them good targets? Are some of them good targets?
Sim is the most immediate and best target right now. Ana would be second, and then Soldier would need setup time.
Yeah.
Soldier's probably the second dive.
Yeah, so it is a bit off, like distance-wise. So he's open, but we can't get to him, so we scratch him off the list. Sim is fairly juicy, and so is Ana. As far as which one's better, can't really say because, like, so just the fact that Sim's on low ground is a worry against the low ground comp. but she's still like it's totally doable, especially um like its burst damage is totally doable, especially with the map geometry. Like we could just kill Sim and then just like head all the way over here, like and just because we're worried about like they do have tank ults and we're worried about that. So like you don't when you're looking to attack a ground target, be looking for okay when the job is done, where the hell can I head to? Because I don't want to be on here. I want to LOS as long as I can until I have my cooldown. Right? You don't want to just kill Sim and then look at the Rhine. Like that's not what we want. We want to kill Sim and then run. Right? Hit and run. So you're the Mafia is what we're looking for. But so Sim is totally doable. And then On is also doable as well. Who can call a dive on the Symmetra?
Tracer.
Uh-huh. So uh-huh.
Maybe Genji, but Genji's not really looking over that way. But Genji might be able to see her beam.
Yeah, maybe so.
It's out.
Yep. So Tracer or Genji. So assuming Tracer called, what would our ready check look like? Starting
Genji,
with
yes.
Genji.
Monkey, yes.
Okay.
No one else.
Yeah. All right. Is that another takedown of Symmetra?
Oh hell yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So that's a call. And it's just I would prefer you guys to go no hesitation until we learn otherwise. But like if that's a yes, hey, when someone says yes, if you're not giving a time, I would assume at Laverne, I would assume that they mean immediately. So if everyone says yes, you jump, and they should be ready to go with you. That's everybody.
Yep.
That better be an immediate yes. If you're not sure, say a second count, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, right? Like don't say yes if you do not have what you need. That's cooldowns. That's position. Hey, AQL streaming, sweet. Um, that's cooldowns. That's positioning. Whatever. If you need 3 seconds to walk somewhere, say 3 seconds. If you need 3 seconds for your recall, for your dash, for your jump, say it. For your boosters, say it. Right. Other than that, I'm telling the tanks they should be ready for an immediate call, for immediate jump. So like, and if you guys half-ass that, you're gonna get your tanks killed. So
Not get your
just
tanks killed.
let's not get our tanks killed. They don't like when they're killed. Well, Color does because he likes taking 10k damage on Route 66.
We have
Um,
tanks.
Yeah. You know those things that kill the things before they can kill you? Yeah, those are your tanks.
Oh, Nox and Phantom, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought that
Nox
maybe
and
they played
Phantom.
tanks. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Seconds remaining.
Nothing wrong with this at all. That's probably the best we've looked all map. Like we waited and we won a staging. That's cool. Yeah, we decided not to kill anyone. That's perfectly fine. We got space. Slight issue is that, like Laverne said, the soldier will require 2 jumps. So now he kind of gets to just fire on us for free. Um, so it is a bit of an issue, for sure. Um, it's a kind of a unique situation. Well, not unique because it's going to happen a lot. Um, so we talk about staging so we have top gas. Yeah, usually like 99 times out of 100, you want to be on it. But remember the general idea is to make sure that we have control of it. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to be on it. Um, so like if our goal was to take staging, we should realize that the danger is that the soldier is there. Um, and that when we jump, we're going to be a bit vulnerable. So staging is maybe if we want to go on soldier, staging probably isn't the best option to go. So if we want to go to the soldier, we need a place that protects us from his LOS until we get our cooldowns back. So is there a place that fits that criteria?
Underneath bridge. Even though it's low ground, it's away from the other team, and well, I guess he can just peek over, can't he?
Well, I mean, not really, because you guys do have that bottom tunnel if you really want to, and you can just hide there until your cooldowns come back. But remember also, we have to make 2 jumps. You can't make that bridge in 1 jump.
So can we?
So we already know we can't get soldier in 1 jump. We have to take 2 jumps. So like bridge is like you're on the right track. I don't want to say you're on the wrong track. Like it's it's not bad to do. It's just think about also how can we get to bridge as well. So like our jump only takes us to gas, but
Oh,
we
we can
certainly
go
don't want to
behind the
stay here.
sign up at the top of the screen and then jump over to him. So
We
top cave, move around, jump.
yeah. So pathing, right? A different path is what we if we want this. If for some reason like we really want the soldier, just think we want to do this in 1 jump, or if we do 2 jumps, we need to make sure that after our first jump we have some place to go so we can rest and regen cooldowns for the second jump. So both are possible here, but certainly through the top cave because remember, look, what they're a ground comp, we count them all. There's no one up top cave. Oh, we can just mosey through top cave here, go around, and then jump onto the soldier. And that's 1 jump. And they don't have a Lucio, so they can't out-rotate us. Like, we know what we're going to do first before they do, so naturally we're going to be a step ahead. They have to react. We get to act proactively. So we're naturally going to be ahead of them, so they just never catch up. That's why Lucio takes away that mistake. Is why he's so good. So yeah, that would be certainly the best plan if we want to kill the soldier. Now, if we want to get to gas, we can do the same jump we just did, but we need to utilize some resources to get to a safer spot. And really, like to be honest, we could just walk up to him. Like to be really honest, because we do have cooldowns. So like the idea is like just realizing that if we want to get the soldier, we're going to take damage. So what could we do to reach this soldier while jumping onto gas? After we jump onto gas.
Just go at him.
Yeah, how will we do it?
We can DM, and then the tracer can engage quickly, and then by that time the monkey and the diva are there.
Yeah, cooldowns. Just walk up to him with DM, and then afterwards, if he's going to stay there, drop a bubble, and just stay in the bubble. He's not going to break the bubble by the time you guys have your cooldowns. And even if you do, you have taken minimal damage, and your diva's going to have a little bit of DM back up to block some more shots. So like you can use resources to get to him if he's just going to stand there. Right. So I think here I assume we just didn't realize like soldier was here, which is why we sit here and take the damage. But if the job is to go kill the soldier, that's how you would approach it. Is to just walk up to him but make sure to use your cooldown so you don't take that damage, because you don't need DM or bubble to kill him with a 2 or 3 man dive. So again, Dig decides to duel. He decides to duel the soldier alone. He needs help. Our characters do not have 1v1 ability without outsmarting their opponent, really. Except the DPS do, but not our tanks really so much. Like they require a lot of help to get their job done for themselves, like positioning usually. Like Monkey's fine if he can get to you full health, but if they have to travel to you, then they're not Reinhardt. So that's like their weakness. The Dig drops, but now he's kind of useless, right? Because he's low. So just probably gonna demag him. Yep. So cool. Someone called the sim. We jumped the sim. So let's imagine how this went, and as far as comms. So tell me who probably called this sim engagement. Could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. Who are the people that know that sim is walking up this walkway?
The monkey, the Genji, and the Ana.
Uh-huh. Yep. As well as the Mercy. Mercy could have called it as well. Alright, so but we can assume the Genji called. So what would the ready check sound like here?
On Sim,
Yeah, on the sim.
then we have Monkey, Mercy, Genji ready to go. Tracer would have to put 3 blinks into it, so no. And Diva is out for sure.
Yeah. And Tracer again, like that's Tracer's call. Like if she wants to put 3 blinks into that, that's totally her call. Um, but yeah, more than likely she would say no. But that's if she wants to, she can do it. That's not a problem. Um, it's just it's always is the resource, is the cost, is to do the means justify the ends. Do 3 blinks justify getting the kill on the sim. So that just sometimes it's like a lot of times it's yes, sometimes it could even be no. So, but yeah, Monkey, Mercy, Genji, totally enough to take out the sim. If everyone says yes, that's an immediate go call. Diva and Tracer would say no, but you guys would hear 3 yeses, we go. So. Glass Honor, unfortunately, didn't get the kill. That's fine. Look good, it gave us the space back. Like, we protected our Genji, we protected our Ana. It's fine. And guess what? Gas is still free. Even though we left it, gas is still fairly free. Cool. So now we're in a really good spot. Poor dig. But Dig's dead. Doesn't really matter. We are still fine. As far as, map control and such. And so here's an issue, alright? They decide to come up here. Can we fight this?
No,
Why not?
because they are a strong ground comp team and they have a sim that's just going to get stronger as we try to kill her.
Yeah. Yeah, their comp, if whatever space that they want to march themselves up to, they get to have. That space that they
30
command,
seconds
they have it.
remaining.
So just leave. It's cool to leave. But, we stay. Our Ana dies. Genji gets the dash, cool, but that's a mechanical thing. Probably should have dashed away, not back into the Zarya. Once you got the dash kill on the sim. So they marched up here. We should have just walked away at this point, and then just staged elsewhere, and just reading the situation. Could have retaken gas. Could have looked for an opportune targets elsewhere, right? So just realize that they're a strong comp, brawl comp. If they walk up here, they get to have it. Just give it to them.
Огонь по готовности. 10 seconds remaining.
And the only thing special with, well, we decided to engage with ults. So, it's like nothing really position-wise about it, I don't think. I mean, there's always something we could look at.
30 seconds remaining.
So here we're initiating a plan. I'm not sure if we call it the bomb. It looks Dick's positioning for it. That just might be just his call though. But whatever we call, simply if you're bombing or blading like this, well, not necessarily bombing. When you're bombing, you're looking to see when they scatter. Did it force a bad positioning out of somebody? Is what you're looking for. But with blade, go in with it. Go in on a squishy with it. Everybody, like that's just a hard engage onto their team, and yeah, it's like nothing special about that. Um, because you're trying to create chaos so your Genji doesn't get focused. Is at minimum what you're looking for. Diva, what else you could be looking for is DMing your Genji, especially if they have someone who has a stun like a sleep dart or a flashbang. So when you're in, look to DM your Genji as much as you can.
Огонь по готовности. Який парамбаста вихтахе. Helden sterben.
And you can see it devolves into brawl because we can't kill anything fast enough. This is just strictly target calling. We just need to be following a target. Not sure if we did or not, I just weren't able to kill anyone. Because we have...
Helden sterben.
So our DPS are just now really getting back. So yeah, that period that the DPS are traveling, right? Our tanks aren't going to... like, one diva has a stay on card, so it's just Monkey doing DPS. So that allows their brawl comp to get back. And so we just don't win that. Like, unfortunately, it's overtime. We don't get a say in if we can actually take staging anymore, right? So not really, anyway. So we're forced to brawl a bit, and they're just gonna win that brawl in overtime. Like that wasn't much of us. It was just the situation and what we were forced into. We were forced to brawl, and we do not want to do that. So overtime is very scary for Dive if we're staggering and not at full force. So. That make a bit of sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now arriving at Ilios. Ready for battle.
And here it's just going to be looking at their comp and our comp and just how we want to play. So they come out with Ryan Zarya, Junk Echo, pretty strong frontlining comp. And we're Tracer Hanzo and Diva as well. So not frontlining at all. Like, I wouldn't be shocked, Laverne, if you just ever decided to touch point. Because you can't. If they want point, they get to have it. Like, be willing to concede that as a team. Like, this is not something. This is just not a brawl that we can take. Like, that's just what we call. That's what we chose to play. So we have to play like we chose to play. This is a from the Reinhardt perspective, he's looking to see the ebb and flow of the fight. Are they giving ground? Are they taking ground? Right. That's when I can apply my pressure. And Diva is applying pressure wherever she fit. Generally, Diva would, off angle somewhere, because Diva could be here, Diva could be up here, right? Applying that off angle pressure, all that would give our Ryan space to then be the point presence on point. And then Tracer and Haunt. Tracer is going to be around, all right, making them look second direction, trying to pester their back line to see if she can stop the Ryan from getting heals, and then the Hanzo is going to be off-angling somewhere looking for picks. Like, that's how we choose to play. We have the Lucio here to get our Ryan in and out. Like, realistically, they have a Lucio too, but, like, in a perfect world, our Reinhardt never dies because the Lucio and the Ryan are just going, like, the Lucio's always getting the Ryan out when he's in trouble. And, like, they should have a hard time speeding onto our Ryan because, well, why? Why wouldn't they want to give space and try and attack our Ryan?
Because that leaves their squishies vulnerable to our DPS.
Yeah, especially the Hanzo. Like, this shield's the only thing that stands between them and a Hanzo arrow to the face. And Hanzo's really good here because there's a dip here, so there's kind of not even a shield. So Hanzo has pretty good range. Like, realistically, if they want to use this Rhine shield, they would have to play on point and around here, and they don't want to do that. So Hanzo's really good here. So like that should be the decision that Rhine has to make, and that's what we're looking for. So like if our like legit Laverne would probably come here and start here, look at their comp, see what they have, and just stay here. Like there's like I mean he can pressure, just be like the Lucio should be on his tail or have him in his aura and be willing to speed Rhine out and booping their Rhine away. If they decide to aggress on a Rhine, which they should. They have Rhines already at Junkrat, Echo. Our Rhine, if they get a hold of him, will die immediately. Right? So the Rhine Lucio are the pair. Like they're together this whole time. Lucio's just really never going to leave Rhine unless Rhine's just totally safe for, for a bit. Those two are together, and they're working in tandem to get the Rhine in and out and be that point presence. Like we don't just want like our Rhine being on point, right? We want him in there swinging when he can, but a lot of times he's not going to be able to. But that's just he has to just judge the fight. If Tracer and Hanzo are doing their job, this Rhine is, even though he has this really strong front line, he's still backpedaling because his back line is in so much danger. Is how this should feel. So let's see if we actually try to play like that. Oh, cool. Our Rhine's not on point, perfectly fine. Choose not to play. We get a pick, we enter point, great. Our D.Va should not be behind our Rhine. She's useless right here. That's useless. Right? She can be like, look how much space. Look, they have this brawl comp. Look how much space we have. We've taken over. Like they have this many people on point, but we've taken over this high ground over here. We have this. They just have this corner over here. Like Tracer commands this over here. D.Va can command this, and Hanzo can take his pick of wherever he wants in this whole space. So like in just that blink, we have taken a ton of space. So let's see if we're able to utilize it. So like we might as well be playing 5v5 right now because our D.Va's not putting any pressure. She's just looking pretty.
The objective is now active.
So like, should Lux be where he's at right now?
No, he should be with the Rhine because they're trying to. Rhine needs to back out now.
Very possible, right? Echo's nearby, and that's still scary. Zarya's nearby, Ryan's nearby. Like he's not out of danger. They don't have space, but their shield is pretty strong. Assuming their Lucio was with them, they could demolish our Ryan right now with the speed boost in. This is a very possibly a speed amp call into Ryan on their part, and they would just destroy our Ryan. So that's what our main supports, whoever's playing Lucio, should be looking at. Booping their Ryan. Like if they speed into us, you boot them away and you speed our Ryan out. Is what you're looking to do. So our Ryan's in danger here. But everyone else, this is fine. Not many places Ana can hold that say I hate ruins with Ana. MO7 does too, so I'm not the only one. It's a terrible Ana map position wise.
I can't remember why I picked Ana though.
I mean, it's fine. Like in this comp, it's fine. Like Morris, so like think about Tracer Hanzo, right? Are our fights gonna last long or short?
No, short.
Oh no, they're gonna last long, more than likely.
Well, they're gonna be longer than
Yeah. Like this, we need time to develop things. Like we're waiting on things to happen. It's what we're making them happen,
Okay.
but we have to wait, right? Tracer has to poke, Hanzo has to find a shot. So like we're
so
very
we wouldn't
patient.
want Moira anyway.
Yeah, because she's gonna
Moira
run out
would
of
be
resource, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like, and then like Bap's the middle ground between the two because he has infinite resource and he has shifts and he has drone. So it's like it's not the worst, but value-wise, Ana's full kit gets used here.
Right.
So like that's why Ana is the better choice here. But
It's just
positioning-wise,
unplaying.
I hate ruins. It's on. I hate Ilios. I just wish they would just destroy it. Okay, so yeah, those are the potential issues that could happen. Hanzo, I know you're weak. So just I'm hoping to see you step back out here and start getting in some shots. Oh, you are, so that's fine. So they forced me out. So you can see, like, the Zarya had to peel the Tracer out, which is fine. That leaves their Reinhardt a little bit weaker, right? Like, their Reinhardt's a bit weaker in the front. Their Echo's out of the way. So, like, that's what you're looking for in the Tracers, so just take attention. Like, now this all of a sudden looks a bit better. Diggs out of it. This is aggro. You look at the color. Never be within Zarya being Reyna's Diva. This is suicide. Actually, this is suicide. Um, you could be simply just being up here or over here, and this Reinhardt is feeling some pain right now. So
Yeah, Dig. How could you not know that with all of your time having played Diva in a team environment?
right, come on, bro.
God, Dig.
Come on, bro. That's just us missing the counter charge. But let's see.
I didn't have sleep either. I don't think.
What is that picture supposed to even? Oh, it's just because I'm on DPS, huh? Dude, my DPS was alright yesterday.
Your DPS was great yesterday, isn't it?
Oh no,
It was nowhere near great.
no, it wasn't. Shut up, Phantom. Nah, it wasn't. It was awful. It was decent. Positioning wise, it was fine, but mechanics, yeah, no. So up until this point, we had space, right? And now we can see, they forced me out, so I'm gone for a bit, going to get the Mega. Everyone else is fine though, but we can see that they're recouping a bit. So this is where we would really like our Lucio to be with our Rhine, because you can imagine that when they feel like they're stabilizing, they're going to go aggro. So you can say we've missed our shot to take this point. Like as far as like that, that tempo swing is now gone that we had a bit, right? Like Junkrat's still gone, sure, but still like we can't brawl. So like that, there are going to be many instances. You could say like this is still a dive, in that we can rinse and repeat really quickly. Um, certain ebbs and flows of the fight, and we missed one already. Like I was forced out, so the next one will be when I can come back in. Um, as far as like maybe drawing some attention and getting them away. Now it's just Hanzo getting a pick, so we're a bit weaker in this frontline department here. So this is where we want our Lucio to kind of read that tempo swing and back our Ryan up here. And Ryan gets all the way backed up. So we call the Ryan. We focus him pretty good. So still, it's certainly winnable. Why, like, so what are we looking for in this instance? Beeping, please stop. So what are we looking for in this instance? With like in the kill feed will solve it for you. What does the kill feed mean for us?
Means there are no main tanks on the field.
Uh-huh.
So free picks.
From who?
From our Hanzo.
Absolutely, right? We have a one-shot, like, I can't stress this enough. We have a one-shot character on our team. They don't have a shield. And his name is Phantom. We are okay with all of those things. So, at this point, it's like pocket Phantom. Right? Diva, position yourself to, keep Phantom alive is our win condition here. Like, the Ryan dying doesn't mean squad for Tracer, but it means the world for Hanzo. Right? So we want to pocket Phantom here. Like, keep him alive. Just make sure he has what he needs to do his job. Because all he has to do, like, not all he has to do is hit shots, but all he has to do is hit shots and we win. Like, there's no obstacle to him anymore except for them going at him, which is what this Echo's doing. I'm sure it was purely by accident, realizing that Hanzo is now the only threat on this team. So I gotta go kill her, but she's the threat. We need to be, like, hardcore peeling for Hanzo right now. He's our win condition. Y'all they kill each other. On appeals. Hanzo dies, but we're up one. Cool, but still, like, there's not much we can do. We might be up. Oh, we're even now because Junkrat's back. So, like, now it's just they have the point presence. Even though their Ryan's down, our Ryan's down, our comp isn't a point presence comp. There still is. So we still have to give them point. We still win this. We could still, I don't know if we did, but we can still win this. But it's going to be after now that they have points flipped over. We have no one that can sit here and contest point. Like Diva can try and sit at this corner here, but all Zarya has to do is walk up to her, right? So like she can contest it for a few seconds, and she should, but then she has to leave. Um, so now we can just look for a Tracer to whittle them down, hopefully, but that's all we've got. Like we've got, we have, not saying like all we got as far as DPS and like easy win conditions. Um, but like that's what we're looking for. So we play it really well. Our Ryan's back. Yeah, nothing really crazy here. Our Lucio is off DPSing, which is that fine what he's doing at this moment in time? Our
I mean,
Lucio?
Laverne, our main tank has a couple around him, so he's not. It's not like he's trying to be solo. He's not being solo, 1v1 against the junk.
Uh-huh.
And the junk is weak, but it might be better to have the Lucio so we can get the main tank out of this.
Yeah, so it's like it's a tricky one because it's a question of like is what you're doing the risk worth is the risk worth the value that you're going to get? And really no, like he just comes in and looks to I guess kill a Lucio with me, which may work out, but if I were their Junkrat and Zarya, I would have just focused Reinhardt 100% and push them off a point anyway. So like, yeah, you may kill our Lucio. We kind of don't care as their comp, as far as I'm concerned, because we don't want to leave. We want to be here. So like, if I were them, like sacrifice the Lucio and kill the Ryan, realistically, or push the Ryan out because we don't care about leaving this fight. Um, but like, there can be some value in what he's doing. I just don't think at this point. I think against a better team, this will get punished a bit harder. I think our Reinhardt probably dies here. If not, well, he does die because they can't leave. Diva's not going to stop them. Diva's going to feed to Zarya, and then Reinhardt's going to get dismantled, I believe. So I don't think it's quite worth what he's doing. And we don't, like, or do we get to kill him? Lucio is irrelevant. But we survived. Junk suicides in. So Ryan and Zarya love chasing me for some reason. Cool. But it won't ever be this extreme in a higher ranked game. But this is what you're looking for is Tracer to take aggro, which frees up if you look at our Reinhardt, he's free on point. This is free. So that's the look we're looking for. But now the Reinhardt's back. Reinhardt, so our diva should be, again, he's feeding a bit. He should be around, not behind their team. This is where we would really like our Lucio to be with our Ryan. He is like in the vicinity because this is where our Ryan is not feeling comfortable. Ryan's Zarya's in his face. He's not feeling too threatened. He can stand here because Zarya can't immediately kill him. But this is where after about 5 or 10 seconds, Ryan is like, okay, I'm ready to go now. Just be wary that could happen. So our Hanzo's back. He's just going to be looking for his picks again. So, like, Uh, we played that like even though we played it decently well, um, like you could see the condition, you could see what was going on. Tracer was taking attention. Hanzo was threatening on the high ground. Uh, Orion has to look at the ebbs and flow of the fights to see if he can push up or not. Um, and then Lucio needs to be around the Reinhardt to help him with those ebbs and flows, is what it should look like. Alright. So they get they get, their Danny just pops off, get some kills, but still winnable. They're able to win the fight. Um, so realize, is there anything wrong with this picture right now?
Our Rhine is deep on their Rhine, and we do not have the resources to be able to keep him up for any amount of time.
Right. So our Reinhardt's deep in there. Our Ana's
Both,
not. Yeah.
both Annas are away though.
Hmm. So like we can take that into account. I guess assuming we knew this, does that change anything for us?
Now their front line is still super strong.
Yeah. Right. So like in a mirror matchup, this would be perfect. This would be exactly what you want to do, because all resources are equal. Resources are not equal though. They're dedicating resources to the front line. We're dedicating resources to the flanks and off angles. So playing up is like to start is perfectly fine because we have Lucio. If we did not have Lucio, this is a terrible idea. But we have Lucio, so playing up is fine, but staying here will absolutely not be fine. So let's see if we back up. And we don't. And we see what happens to our Ryan. Like that's exactly what it should look like. So I doubt Dig did a tempo bomb, but he did a tempo bomb right in this was tempo, like why? Why was this a good bomb?
Because their moment. Sorry, I keep answering questions.
Oh, you're the only one speaking for some reason.
So, well, it's a tempo bomb because their momentum starts to push towards us,
Uh-huh.
and Rhine is pushing forward, which
Yeah.
means they don't have the shield.
Yep.
They don't have the shield presence.
Mhm.
It forces them back or to die.
Right. And so yeah, their tempo's high. They're going towards us. If this bomb isn't thrown, our Ryan dies because they just run over our Reinhardt. Well, maybe our Reinhardt gets an A, but either way, like you see what happens. We push up. We didn't leave, and because they have a stronger front line, we back up. Like the logic is all there. But we throw a bomb, which completely stops them. So it allows our Ana to get back and I assume heal our Ryan. So
Hopefully.
hopefully. No, it just didn't make it. Their Ryan did give two craps about that bomb. Good on him for knowing, or not knowing, just being too dumb to realize that the bomb wasn't gonna hurt him. So, but that's exactly what just
Sure,
happened.
he was just pissed that I would walk in and he couldn't kill me, but I could hit him.
with the
And then
front line that they
he saw the opportunity. He's like, okay,
had.
he's dying this time.
So cool. Our Hanzo's off angling like he should be. Like we look, position wise without our Ryan, we look fine. But they have their Reinhardt. Like we just shouldn't win this. The math just doesn't add up. So realistically, like we could. Right. So, and it's gonna come with time. But when a major part of your comp is down, and you can't win this with neutral. So you either A, give up, or B, force something to happen with ultimates, or like look for some really cheeky play, like a quick flank nade or something. Like that's all you can do. We don't win this neutral. Like we've already said, they cancel our Hanzo with good positioning. And then Tracer's job is to draw aggro. They don't care. They have like the only reason drawing aggro works is if you have a threat in the other direction that is a worry to you. Um, they're a threat. They have killed that threat that they're worried about, which is our Reinhardt. So Tracer's useless. And Phantom will just have to hit miracle shots, which he probably will, but has to hit miracle shots somehow past the Rhine Shield to win this, to draw us into being able to win like the neutral. So right now our plan's shut down. We are shut down. So now we either look for something crazy or we just stagger on a point and play for percentage because we can't win this. So we could offensively beat, we could do that and go in on like go in on somebody, go in on the Ana somehow. Like just target someone down. We could Dragon trying to split the Rhine and kill him is a call. We could Nano Tracer and see if she pops off. Don't do that for me, please. Um, yeah, like we can use ults here to win this fight because we do not win this neutral. We shouldn't win this neutral. We catch Lucio out of place. That's also a thing. Reinhardt's out of place. So he can't. So, like, if our Hanzo didn't die, like their Reinhardt's out of place, which enables our Hanzo, right? So, but mono, we shouldn't win this. But I think they just horribly, I think they're going to horribly misplay this. Okay. So yeah, they just horribly misplayed it, but they shouldn't have won. Like the fact is still that uh when our Ryan dies, there's not much we can do. Like we don't win the neutral, so we have to do other things. Use ultimates, do cheeky, uh, charges from behind them and bringing them into our team kind of stuff. Like that's the stuff you have to do. But game plan has changed for them. They are on Widow Genji. So their front line is, as far as tanks, still stronger, but we're much more comfortable now. Like our Reinhardt can square up a bit. If our Diva takes off angles now, our Reinhardt actually can stay on point and be a point presence and actually be a bit free. Um, so we're feeling, so like, our Reinhardt should be feeling pretty good about the swap. Our supports, however, our Ana, however, is hating her life because now she has Genji to worry about and Widow, so the game has changed. So now, like, this is where you have to reassess, okay, there's combos changed, what are our new priorities? Um, protect Ana now. And so like Diva, instead of protect Reinhardt, it's protect Ana more so. Like your default positioning is now as always, to be around your Rein, but now you're looking for where is this Genji? And then, am I close enough to go duel this Widow is what you're thinking for as Diva. Lucio, you're thinking protect Ana at all costs, so where is this Genji is what you're thinking. Um, and even you could even like realize like our Ryan doesn't have to run anymore. Um, as long as we're doing our job, our Reinhardt is fairly safe, so we may not need Lucio. We could swap to Brig if we wanted to as well to help with the Genji. If we feel like we just can't contain this Genji with what we have, we could swap to Brig. So this is where, you know, we don't lose anything too much by losing the Lucio and going Brig. So that is an option here. So yeah, so comp change, so responsibilities and game plan should change. So Hanzo, you duel the Widow, and then yeah, protect your Ana from the Genji and annoy him as much. Like you want to stop him from farming as much as you can. So like Diva, you're on that Genji whenever you can, and if happen chance you're able to go on the Widow, you go on the Widow. So you're protecting your Ana. And then all that will allow our Reinhardt to play aggressive their team because their team is like well that won't stop the Reinhardt from playing aggressive, but now that frees Tracer up, like, because Tracer has no other responsibilities now. Tracer can straight up focus on their Ana, and then it's their Lucio's job to protect their Ana from me, or poke the tanks. All that will free up our Reinhardts for being able to be a monster on point. Does that make sense? Like how the dots connect and how game plans can shift and how responsibility shifts and how they shifted here. Yeah, no, maybe, no.
Yeah,
Coach, shut up.
makes sense to me.
Anybody else with a mouth?
Yeah.
Cool. So, does this fight ever end?
Probably not.
I have a question about that rotation.
Sure, I was watching Lucio and wondering why the hell is he not anywhere near Ana? But go ahead.
So I noticed that I was kind of out on my own there,
Uh-huh.
over by the statue. So I decided to go main, which doesn't actually feel safer, but at least the Rhine and the Diva are over there.
Uh-huh.
Was that decision like, should I be thinking that way, or should I be asking my Lucio to come help me?
Well,
Because I actually like being closer to statue as far as like my sightlines are concerned, and Widow's sightlines because she was box. Yeah. So I feel safer being able to be around that corner than being main. Anyway.
okay. Um, around that around that corner, does Widow have? Are you more trapped by Widow at that corner or at main?
At main,
Why?
because she is basically full sightline to me. If I want to heal tanks that are sitting on this wall, or anyone that's sitting in this wall, I have to peek into her sightline for much longer.
Okay.
So I'd prefer to be on the left side of point, I think. But I moved there because there I felt more support, and I can kind of back up a little bit too and be pretty far out as long as Ryan is playing like to the right of point.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's why I ask.
Yeah. So let's look at it. If you're here around the statue, sure, you can see points, but what does anyone have to come do for to push you into Willow sideline?
Literally, come and be in front of me.
Yeah. Like if they push you here, you could probably be spotted by Widow. If they push you from back here, you can be spotted by like sure, Lucio can come protect you, but like
He can't save me from a widow headshot.
yeah, and you know like if all you're doing is relying on this to protect you, like you're saying Lucio has to duel a Genji and not let you get moved 2 inches to the right, you know, pretty
Well,
unrealistic.
yeah, but the statue and the column both give me. So I'm not in her sight lines like until I'm pretty far to the right.
Well, you're assuming like where she is now.
Yeah,
So like where she is now, sure, but remember she has grapple.
right.
Like that is a very popular widow spot. I mean, she can
Yep.
grapple to here, 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 here. Like these are all widow spots, and they're all within grapple range. So like where she is now, fine. But what happens if she just grapples up there?
Okay.
Versus main, sure, it sucks. That's why it sucks. But at least you've cut off this, at the very least.
Yeah, and far left.
Yeah, and a bit. Yeah. So like it sucks, but what about here?
Then I'm scared of the Genji.
Yeah, that's why you have Ilios. But see,
Okay.
here you're scared of the Widow and the Genji. Here you're just scared of Genji.
Right. Okay.
You're far better off with that thinking right now. Like you see, like Widow has just a lot less sidelines here. Like
Yeah.
she can, any Widow can get you anywhere, but you make her job harder. If she wants to target you, you make her job harder. And by making her job harder, you make your Hanzo's job easier because now she has to put herself in riskier positions.
Gotcha.
And your Hanzo would love that. So, but yeah, so yeah, Lucio would help you fend off Genji. Yeah. So like charging in looks stupid, but it's it's a perfectly fine play because of what they have. They have no front line, like not like they did. So like again, I guess Laverne's already feeling like, oh man, they swapped into really heroes that I don't care about. Sweet, going in. So and that's what he should feel like. He didn't charge into the enemy backline. He charged into point, which is in that situation fine. Like that's what that's what you guys should be feeling. Like the threats are different now. The game is different, so we have to play differently. Lucio should be protecting Arana and all that. Widow can go protect. Diva can go kill Genji and also kill Widow if he sees the opportunity. Hanzo duels a Widow. Tracer annoys people. Like look how you can immediately see how much space we have as a team now. You can immediately see it. So at this point, what should our diva be doing right now?
Should be
Fucking with the.
messing with the Widow
Why?
to try to relieve pressure off Diana so that she can push up.
Why? Well, not so
Well,
she can
not
push
push up,
up,
but like
but she's protected. But why else?
because the shield is moved forward a lot more, so that means no shield to help out Rev.
What about
Well,
you?
right. Remember whose main job is it to deal with Widow?
Yeah, mine.
Right. And you are coming from spawn, so you are unable to do a Widow, so it means she's free. So so the responsibility now falls to Diva. If she's able. Like when Widow's back here, Diva can't do it because that's too far to travel. Like you do what you can given the moment, right? But here look at the weaknesses of their comp, right? Their comp allowed us to take space, just by opportunity. Like mono a mono, they still can take the space if they want. But we saw the opportunity that their resources were low. Like their Zarya's dead. That's a pretty good resource killer. So we take the space. And so now our diva is in reach of Widow. Our diva needs to go duel with that Widow, or they need to get her out of there, make her use her cooldown. So for 12 seconds, she's a lot less useful, and that frees up our Ana to pocket the core here, whether it be our Reinhardt, our Ryan and Diva, after she makes the Widow screw off. Uh, she has it frees up our Ana, to not get shot, right? And so those are the things we're looking for. And she does. Cool. Did go do it. Um, Here I would like to have heard, I don't know if you did or not, I'm on Widow, which then Rav would let you know, okay, I can peek and do what you need to do. Find a nade, find a sleep, pocket your team, all that. So we have taken the space. We have overstayed our welcome. So now we're backing. So cool. Dig overstayed is welcome. So cool. Now holding up is fine. Well, it always was. But now we can actually stay here. They can't. We have space. They can't pressure our Rhino out. They can use ultimates though, and that's what they, that's ultimates. That's what they are allowed to do. Ultimates swing the tempo. But we respond well with beats. We're cool. Trying to figure out why we need to. Why do we feel the need to back here? We have beat. There's no reason to back here, Laverne. Kill him.
It kind of looks like he's trying to allow people in so that he can get a bigger shatter.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it. Got to get that play of the game, man.
Right?
Looking at this, I mean, you're probably not wrong.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just telling you what it looks like to me.
I mean, the other option is that I was backing up to give Phantom more of a sight line, but at this point,
shatter. All that's on your mind is how big is the shatter? The only thing on your mind is how big is this shatter going to be?
I mean, again, you're not wrong. I think I'm backing up to give myself time to count how many people are behind him for when this goes through.
He has to use his toes
Right.
he has to use his right hand because his right foot is under the mouse.
That's right.
Brutal.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an explanation of why I'm holding S right now.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Yeah. Have this up on your You have a second monitor, Phantom?
The what?
Do you have a second monitor?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, watch that man on your second monitor.
I have a.
Watch which man?
EQO.
Oh.
You want to learn some Hanzo and Genji? Watch EQO.
Yes.
That man. He's the reason I went to Philly, or became a fan of Philly.
I knew it. I knew it.
I got 2 more screens.
I knew it.
3.
Nice.
I knew Sign was signed by Philly. You didn't listen to me, Rav.
You didn't take the Dallas offer. I don't know why you did.
Shit, he's destroying his Genji.
And he's not even trying. Like, you saw him play with that Ash, right? He was just sidestepping it left and right. It just kills her.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh my god!
Ash, but yeah, his freaking Genji is what?
He's warming up. Yeah, Akio is nutty, dude.
Okay,
It's really silly.
He needs to stop bullying them.
All right. So here, like, we had beat, so there's no reason to back up. If we didn't have beat, there's every reason to back up. Why? Like, as far as not comp or anything, but pressure that you would be feeling Laverne.
Their Rhine is swinging. Ana is on them, and it's just me and my Ana, I guess.
Well, listen to what you just said. They're Rhine swinging, but you're a Rhine, so you can also swing.
They're Ana's
not
how
him.
that works. Trust me, not how that works.
They're Ana's on him, so he's pocketed, but you're also pocketed. So, like, those are 2 resources that cancel each other out. So there's another factor.
Lucio's looking from the side.
Your
So if I keep backing up, then the Rhine's going to keep moving forward, and that gives our Lucio an angle on their Ana.
Well, I'm asking, like, there's if you didn't have the beat, because like we had just said, you shouldn't be backing up because you have beat. Like, there's no reason to back up here. There's no reason to give space. But we just named that. So there's an Ana on the field. There's an Ana around. There's a Rhine around. There's Lucio around on both sides. So those resources cancel out. So there's something missing that would, if you didn't have beads,
Sorry, is dead.
well, if you didn't have bead, I could understand you backing up. So if the Zarya is dead, that means you can press W. But there's a reason happening on the screen that I get why you would be backing up here. Because as a Reinhardt, you should be feeling more pressure in this situation than not than there, Reinhardt, but you should be feeling some pressure here because something's not happening that you should be looking for, and you feel that it's not happening. And when I'm asking questions like that, just go through the field. Is everyone in place that needs to be in place that you would expect to be in place from what we've talked about tonight?
I guess their diva isn't like on an off angle.
Hell no, dude. The Diva's with Diana. She's nowhere in sight, right? She's
Yeah.
not doing anything. Like you should be feeling bad because your diva is AFK. Like so, like so assuming their Zarya was alive, you would be getting run the hell over right now. So it makes sense that you're pressing S key because normally their Reinhardt would be pressing W because he'd be getting pelted with micro missiles in the back, right? So this is like this is what it looks like and feels like when people aren't in the right spot and when things are happening. Like so Tracer and Hanzo are freaking like they're in excellent spots right now. They're demolishing the team from the back. But that does nothing for Reinhardt. Like Reinhardt doesn't care what's going on behind him right now. He has his own fight to fight, and that's what's in front of him. And so does Ana. Like, you know, Tracer and Hanzo are affecting the Zarya, the Lucio, and the Genji. They are not affecting the Ryan and the Ana. So right now it's a Ryan Lucio versus a Ryan Ana. That feels really bad. And I mean, we have our own Ana too, but we're full health. Like it's a bit facetious. Like so, Anas don't really matter here, but it's the fact that your diva's not in position, so the Ryan has nothing else to look at except for you, and that feels bad. Like it shouldn't happen. Like not with this comp. We are not a brawl comp. It's different with May Reaper. You are like everyone's pocketing you. You are the person that should be swinging and get swung on, and we expect it and we want it because of other win conditions like our May trying to freeze our Ryan and all that jazz. But here is not what we're looking for. If this happens, like signals should be firing that something's not going right, and it's not necessarily the bad thing. Maybe the Tracer's not in position yet, and so the Ryan gets some free swings because he's getting pocketed by Ana, so he feels healthy. Versus if the Tracer was there to deal with the Ana, he doesn't get healed, so now he doesn't get free swings because he wants a shield. Now you get the swing. Like all that snowballs. And like all that takes into account. So whenever we're in a comp like this and you're getting swung on, like something is not happening in our comp. Our win condition isn't happening, right? So like that's what you're looking for. There are times where you should be getting swung on and times where you shouldn't. And this is a time where you shouldn't. There's no reason for you to be getting swung on. So like that's what's going on here. So is there anything? So it's another pressure moment. Look at the team and see, are we applying the right type of pressure? Because this looks a bit. It's not the worst, but could there be more? I say could there be more pressure applied here to the front line? And then there's something else that we need to address. But front line specific, is there a better way we could be applying pressure here as a team?
We could be target focusing.
It won't be a calm thing. It's a positioning thing.
I mean, I could have stayed where I was at on the left side mega and shot the Ryan from the back so that he can turn his shield around.
It's in the same vein, but we'll come to that in a second. It's in that realm. The Tracer and the Hanzo are in the same spot, essentially. Not for a bad reason, because like I was like their positioning forces it because their Ana was there, so like I go and kill the Ana. Um, uh, but if we in the perfect world, so let's see, I would expect. Okay, no, okay. So in a perfect world, I think I get domed by Widow here too. We kill the Ana. We see this setup. A good tracer would blink to the other side to get away from their Hanzo, and that would force them to look 3 different directions, in front and to both sides, right? So adding more pressure here, like just I want you to see this position. There's a formation we should be having. DPS separate. That's got to happen a lot, right? It's okay, like it's okay for it to happen when the fights devolve and like their positioning is just all in one spot, so there's no reason to off angle. But like it happened here, but now that time's gone, I need to be elsewhere. So I need to be going to the other side as a tracer. Now, who's in the kill feed right now besides Tracer?
Widow.
So what do you need to be thinking?
Widow's back. Where is she?
Yes, right. So that's that. Your priority is back. So go deal with your priority. Um, you need to go duel her. She's free right now. She's absolutely free. I'll get killed by Genji Blade and I get done by Widow, so that's fine. They done me by Widow isn't. If I had blinked to the other side, I wouldn't have gotten done by Widow. So we're down. We're down 2. We're down 1. We don't have 2 of our people. We don't have our Tracer nor Hanzo, so we don't have any DPS. So we can stay here, but if they want this base, they get to take it. We don't have anything to stop them from looking forward, so we need to be running here. The boosters to the Widow. That was okay if she didn't drop, but she drops and yeah, gets ganked. So fight has devolved a bit. All right. So all in all, we're in decent positions. There's as they should, like they've broken our ranks a bit, right? They've made it past our Reinhardt. They're off angling our Reinhardt a bit. Our Reinhardt's not feeling comfortable. But we're not in a. It's not the worst spot in the world. Like you can back up and hold these corners like you are. You want to close this. You want to look to close this off angle as much as you can. You're off angled on right now. So even backing up to these stairs, just to close that angle off a bit, is what you're looking for. Why did you rotate here, Af?
The Widow was called to be on Pantheon. I think this before this, and I didn't feel comfortable rotating after.
Okay, so we start here. Okay. So you can see how constricted this possibly makes you.
Yeah, for sure. But then I never heard that anyone was contesting Widow, so I didn't.
Yeah. No, like that's smart. But just look at, like this is your only safe spot.
Yeah.
It feels bad. But I was going to point out something else that I would have applauded you for it if you had said. If you had realized. Like, man, this guy's a genius. He doesn't need me. He still doesn't need me.
That's not. Um.
So there's a reason why I just explained it for the same reason. Well, not for the same reason, but it was part of Laverne's explanation, or it goes hand in hand with it. Why this is a bit where you want to be.
Um. because other than the widow, I'm not pressured here, and I can
Okay.
see, and I can see at least half of the team, meaning myself, Laverne, so not half of the team, but 2/5 of the people that I want to see.
Uh-huh.
This is a good angle for me to get nades from if they're pushing us. And they don't own the left side of point at all right now.
Okay, stick with that thought. What do they own?
They own right side of point and secret, and I can see everything that they own
Okay, but you've been playing where Hanzo is this whole time. Why not just stay there?
because that's closer to part of the point that they own, and this is further
Right.
away.
Yeah, so for the same vein that I was talking, like, Laverne was pincered in the same, like, so you remember that first fight? We had taken all of this and they own this corner. Well, it's the flip. They have taken a lot of this. They don't quite own, like, this area, but it's certainly contested. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, like, it's not, like, Anna doesn't want to live in contested space. She wants to live in own space. Contested space is, I mean, you can, but contested space is certainly where you want to look for the sexy nades. But you don't want to live there. You know, you're in and out kind of deal. Um, but like you said, you own this. This is why this is good versus now this is no good because they had taken us over. So if I had seen you like see that they had worked their way here and saw you then rotate over here, I'd have been like, hell yeah, dude. That's realizing what space you guys have lost and what space you guys have now and what's contested. So,
Okay.
yeah, they take it. At least they did. Like our Hanzo's here, so now it's a bit safer. But still, like this is even it's still better because now you can see your Reinhardt and we own this. So this is like in the own space. That's if you're ever wondering where we were to position, just position an own space. It's going to usually be a at worst a decent spot.
Okay.
So they, like this is why this is good for like this situation. Um, so Arhanto's dueling, trying to duel the Widow. Lucio's in his face. That's fine. Like that's his job. Our Diva fed, and I'm around. I think I go duel the Widow soon as well. And then Hanzo shoots her in the head. I thought I'd killed her. Like man, I'm good. Then I look at the kill feed and Phantom killed her with a sonic arrow. I'm like, well, okay. I should be happy, but I wanted to kill the Widow. But it works, right? Then that's like Tracer's just looking for targets of opportunity. That's what Tracer's looking for. And yeah, she sees an opportunity to help with Widow. I did by offering my body as a sacrifice to Widow is what I was there
Big
because
brain.
look, she's
Big
looking
brain.
at me, right? She's not looking at Hanzo, so that's a much easier shot for Hanzo to make when he's not being worried about being shot.
Absolutely galaxy level brain.
Yeah, right. I'm good at sacrificing myself. That's what I can do. I can feed. I can feed really good. I don't know if you
Yo, me
guys,
too.
bro. That's why I'm a coach. Lucio should be with Lucio should be with Reinhardt. Get him out. Like, what could Lucio do here?
Lucio could.
So A, be with Reinhardt. Yes, that's true. But what could he do as well?
He
He
could
Um,
could help
also be
me.
contesting the Ana.
uh, what Phantom?
He
Sorry.
could help me duel their Lucio.
He could. It's all about it's all about the Reinhardt right now. What I'm looking for. But that's true.
Oh,
He could. Like if he's around, yeah, he could absolutely help duel the Lucio. That's true. So like we have said to back Ryan up, like physically, but do we want to back our Ryan up, really?
No, because we
I
have
mean,
point, and it's overtime. We can win if we win a fight here.
Yeah. Um. So if we want to fight here, first of all, can we fight here? Can we fight? Can our Reinhardt actually be the fighter we need him to be right now? Does he have the capability?
No, because he doesn't have soft take.
Well, that's true.
And they have Zarya and Ryan.
Yeah, but he's still, like we said before, right? It's Ryan Zarya versus Ryan Diva. If the Diva is doing her, if Diva is doing her thing, then sure. But so let's take it a bit deeper, right? The Ryan's not around and he's low, so he's kind of not a factor right now. Um, and we're in a decent spot still. Like our Tracer's in the back, our Hanzo's dueling the Widow, so like it's still winnable. Sure, we could leave point and to guarantee our Ryan survives, we could do that. But with all that said, with the fact that the Reinhardt isn't really a threat right now, we could enable our Ryan to stay on point a bit longer and to be that point presence we need him to be. Um, so we don't want to be leaving at this point in time. Like I don't say we don't want to be. We don't have to. If we choose, it's not a wrong decision. It's just a safer decision. But it's just a Zarya at the moment. I mean, this is just between our Ryan and Lucio. Like Ryan could tell if he wants, he could just say, "Lucio, get me out," or "No, keep me in." And Lucio could simply just boot the Zarya away if he was with our Reinhardt, and that would allow him to stay on point, like without being threatened. Right? And like the reason, because we say, like we've been saying, Lucio's job is to speed Ryan out and in, but that's in the when he needs to, right? But we don't need to in this situation. He is perfectly capable of staying on point for an extended period of time and being the threat that we need. Because if our Ryan leaves, then technically their Ryan doesn't have to be on point, and that means he gets to survive. Here he has to stay if our Ryan is contesting point. If they want this point, he has to stay. So that puts him in danger. So he could possibly die here. So like our Ryan being on point forces issues that they may not want to have forced on them currently. So if our Lucio was with our Reinhardt, she could just boot the Zarya away, and our Ryan could stay, get healed, and be much more point presence in the situation. And it will keep being the point presence in the situation. As well, remember they swap comps. Their comp, like it's just Ryan Zarya versus below. Before it was Ryan Zarya, Echo, and Junk. So yeah, 9 times out of 10, the thought is to just leave. If all four of them are here, he can't stay. He just has to leave. But um, it's just Widow Genji, and Reinhardt does not care about Widow Genji. So he gets to stay on. He gets to make the decision to stay on point a bit longer. So he gets forced out that's simply because of Lucio wasn't there. All it took was a boop, and our Ryan gets to stay on point. So they probably flip here. Their Ryan's full health now because they nade. Our Diva's low. Like we have no point presence. Our Ryan was our point presence, so we should give this up for free. Lucio contests. Yeah, they should. Yeah, so they start the flip. Hanzo gets a kill. I'm sad because I thought I was going to kill the Widow. Hanzo jumps in. Like we don't have to, right? It's okay to give up. Like it's not your job. I know we want to get point. It's not your job to get point. It's your tanks. Like don't give the point up. Don't give your body up. Right? Don't give yourself up for something that's not your job like that. Like it's not 99.99. Like if we had just called a hard reset, everyone would be alive right now. We could just reaggress, right? But now we give up point when we don't need to, or like we think that we have to keep points, and we end up actually just straight up losing the fight. So we could be fighting again right now, but instead now we have to wait for spawn. So now we have to give up all this percentage until the next fight. So over 10%. We still haven't fought yet. We get picked. So we didn't even get set up yet, and we got picked. Versus we could already be done with the fight. And if we had lost it, guess what? Now we're in spawn at 57% instead of waiting for the first fight at 57%. So we could have snuck in an extra fight if we had gotten out cleanly there.
Hugely.
All right, so last thing they're doing correctly. Our comp wants space, right? Tracer wants to get around, Hanzo wants high ground and F angles. They're stuffing us in a choke. Exactly what we should be doing. What they should be doing. So either we break this with ults, they misplay really hard, or we swap comps, right? And usually you can just break through with the ult, with the dragon, with the bomb, with whatever. Like Tracer either has she has to somehow find your objective here is to just let your Tracer find a way through. So you do things to help your Tracer find a way through here. And Dig goes for a flame bomb. Did he not die from last fight? It's crazy. So yeah, that was just kind of a mess. Flame bomb for the win. But yeah, cool. Any questions, peeps? I'm not gonna go over the rest of Ilios.